Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Thank you for joining. Happy Saturday, everybody. I see my sis Ashley came in early, very early, and left me a little message. So thank you. And no, of course, no problem, you know. I always supported you. It's unfortunate everything that happened, but it is what it is, and you got to move on at times, especially when it's people that didn't do anything to each other. We can't stop people from you know letting us support each other just because they don't like what went down. So I really appreciate you for coming in and supporting me as well. Hey sis, hey Detroit. I don't know if you guys are still here, but hey, 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 please hit that like button and let's get into this. Um, if you guys didn't watch my little H&M haul for Jackson a little while ago, please, after this live, go ahead and go watch it. I found a lot of cute stuff on H&M on their app, and online is the same thing. But if you like shopping at H&M, definitely check it out. They had some good sales. That day they did have a coupon. I don't know if the coupon is still valid, but just check it out. And please watch that video. So on to Chrisean and Blueface. Blueface and Chrisean. We got to talk about this because the internet is once again on fire over Blueface and Chrisean Rock. So if you've been on social media between yesterday and today, you probably saw the post that Blueface put out that he's not the father of Chrisean Jr. And listen, this is the first time this conversation has come up in a while. People have questioned the paternity of that baby since the moment he was born. If you guys followed, if you guys followed it, then you know. If you don't, well, I'm gonna be letting you guys know about what happened between them when that happened. If you guys know, Chrisean and Blue, they were in a very toxic relationship. Very, very toxic, very, very toxic. And during that time when she was about to give birth, she actually wasn't even really next to him, that so much that she gave birth in Baltimore instead of California. She was away from him. Blue was not even in the hospital room when Chrisean Jr. was born, hence his name, Chrisean Malone Jr. I think afterwards, when they, was repairing their relationship, she did change his name to Chrisean Porter, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like on actual birth certificate. But yeah, so, Chrisean and Blue were toxic throughout the years that they were together. They were together 2 or 3 years, and, we've seen it all. Those of us that was watching, even though I didn't like them together, you couldn't help but watch them. The toxicity, the drama, the fighting, just everything. It just, even though that's not, I really didn't like it, I couldn't help but wanting to know what happened, like what was happening between them. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, but this time it really feels different because now Chrisean has actually responded publicly back to Blueface, and he's basically telling everyone to stop playing. She's actually telling people to stop playing with her, and her child. She really is, I think, trying to move on from this. She says that Blue is still the baby daddy, and she's just tired of him trying to mess around with her and basically reel her back into the drama. And what makes this even messier is the timing, because Blueface is already dealing with his own legal shit. He was locked up, just got out a few months ago, and now we've got this situation playing out online again, with the baby being dragged into the conversation. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. At some point, this stops being just internet drama, because now we're talking about a child, you know, a 2-year-old child that regardless who's the dad, doesn't have a father in their life, you know? Because Blueface is doing his thing in California. She's nowhere near California. And Ronnie, unfortunately, was unalived, you know? So he's no longer here. So even if he is the dad, he can't even be the dad that he wanted to be, because he's no longer here, you know? So because we're talking about a child, it's really, really sad, you know? And Blueface starting his shit with Chrisean, you know, is it because he's trying to get some kind of clout? Chrisean is saying that it's because, you know, he was trying to get her to go over there. I guess, you know, he has the Twitch live stream, the Twitch stream. So I guess he's trying to get it to pop off. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's trying to get her to go over there to be on his stream, so his stream could go, you know, viral, pop off, get all the subscribers he needs and things like that. Because at the end of the day, I do believe Blueface is all into himself, and he only cares about himself and the money, of course. So he doesn't give a damn about Chrisean. He doesn't give a damn about that baby. All he cares about is what is going to make him be in the spotlight. So tonight we're talking about what Blueface actually said, Chrisean's response, why this keeps becoming a public issue, whether this should have been handled privately, and the bigger conversation about relationships that play out online, you know? So before we get into it, you know, drop in the chat, what do you guys think of this situation? Do you think this situation is just for clout on Blueface end? Do you think it should have stayed private? Let me know what you guys think, because some people are saying Blueface is wrong for saying anything public, you know, publicly. And others are saying if he doubts paternity, he has a right to speak on it. For me, it shouldn't have came to the internet. It shouldn't have came to social media. And also, if you doubt the damn paternity, why hasn't a DNA test, a real DNA test, been given, and you know, to see the actual results? All those times you were around Chrisean and Chrisean Jr., all the times your mother was around, why didn't you guys get a DNA test? Why? You know, I just don't get it. Come on now. It's simple. These days, all you have to do is literally swab, and put that shit in the mail and send it off for a DNA test. Come on now. Like, I really don't know, you know, why is this, you know, going for so long, you know? Hey, sis. Yeah, I think one is what is it? One is vertical, right? One is vertical and one is horizontal. I know that. Let me see. Is there something else? But I know that one is vertical and one is horizontal, because some people see it through the vertical and some people see it through the horizontal. But that's how StreamYard gives that option now. So Some people like the horizontal because they're able to see the chat better, and the vertical is better so when people are scrolling, they could bump into it. So I put both just because, but no matter what, it's views. So I don't care. Um, but hey, sis. Yes. So yeah, just take a damn DNA test. This could be over with so easily. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably why she's scared to go back over there, because she probably knows they're gonna do a DNA test. You know. But let's talk about it. So first, let's talk about what Blueface actually posted. According to the post circulating online, Blueface basically claimed that he doesn't believe Chrisean Jr. is his. Now, this isn't his first time he's hinted at that. People remember earlier situations where he suggested that a DNA test should be done. And every time he says something like this, the internet just explodes, because the reactions are always split. Some people say, why would you embarrass your child like that publicly? Others say, if he has doubts, why shouldn't it be a question? Why shouldn't he ask questions? But what makes this messy is that this conversation is happening online instead of privately between them. And when you post something online like this on the internet, now the whole world is involved. And y'all know how that goes. So I'm going to show you guys what he posted yesterday for those of you that have not seen it. Let's say so. So for those of you that have not seen it, this is the post that he put up yesterday. It says, Junior is not my biological son. Rest in peace to his father, Ronnie. I can no longer continue the plot. It doesn't feel right as a present father in all my kids' life to be discredited as an absent father to a child that is not biologically mine. I tried my best to fill in the blanks because his biological father is no longer with us, but I can't continue the plot. It doesn't feel right. Isn't that crazy? After all this time, you know, after all this time, now this is what he's running with. This is what he's posting, after all this time. Like, what the hell? And it's just freaking crazy, I just don't understand. Now let's get into what Chrisean's response was, because she didn't stay quiet. She basically came out defending herself, and of course she's gonna defend her child. From what's circulating online, she's saying that people need to stop playing with her and playing with her child. That Blueface knows the truth, and that she's tired of the internet dragging her baby into drama. And honestly, this situation is just complicated because on one hand, Chrisean has been very open with her life online. But on the other hand, there's a difference between adult drama and bringing a baby into it. And a lot of people online are saying the same thing. The baby didn't ask to be a part of internet drama. But, a lot of us have questions. I can't lie. The baby does look more like Ronnie, but that doesn't mean anything. The only thing that's going to tell the truth is that DNA. That DNA is the only thing that tells 99.999999 whatever percent, proof and truth. So it doesn't matter who your baby looks like. That DNA is what matters. That DNA test. So come on now, Blueface, Chrisean, whoever, just take the damn DNA test. I remember you can take it, like, it doesn't even have to be blue. It could be the mother, it could be whatever. It could be, because your family member can take the DNA test for you, because then you can tell there's some kind of DNA that you have in common. You know what I'm saying? So all the times that he was with the baby, when Chrisean walked away or went to the bathroom, took a shower, there was plenty of time to take that damn DNA test. Come on now. Come on now. You know? Lamy says Chrisean refuses to take the test like she refuses to get junior medical care. And that's a fact. Hey, Sarah, sis, and welcome, Lamy. Welcome. Or is it lame? I'm sorry. It looks like Lamy, but is it Lamy or is it lame? I'm guessing it's Lamy, though. For him to go public, suggests he has to be prepared to take a DNA test. Yes, and that's if he gets to be in the same vicinity as Chrisean, because now it seems like she's doing anything to not get close to him. Let's pull up her response real quick, because let's see, where is it? Oh no, that's not it. So this was her response. Let's see. Let me make it bigger for you guys. So this was her response on her story. It says, let me make something clear. No one is denying anyone access out of spite. As a mother, my responsibility is to protect my child. Less than a week ago, my son was publicly disrespected from Blue, and I will never normalize that. You called him, both of us, dumb on whoever stream, insinuating our kid is dumb. Then later, after that, you made a statement about his hair. Recently, I was invited to multiple events and I respectfully declined his invitation. Since then, there have been attempts to provoke a response, including public statements that are simply not true. I'm not interested in going back and forth online. My focus is raising my son in peace, love, and protection. That will always come first. So that was Chrisean's response to that. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think Chrisean should ignore Blueface when he says stuff like that? Or should she continue to defend herself publicly? What do you guys think? I'm good, sis. I'm good. Yeah, more child support for her. It's so messy. It breaks my heart for this baby. And Ronnie's sister spoke out too. Yeah, I saw that. I definitely saw that. Ronnie's sister spoke out. It's just a lot of damn drama. A lot of freaking drama. Hold on. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. I keep turning the wrong one. But this is allegedly the messages between them, but since it says like Instagram user, like it's blocked, I don't know if it's really him. I wouldn't put it past him, because we know that he's petty as fuck. He is definitely petty. He's petty. So I don't know if you guys can read that, or you guys want me to read it. It says, I'm not diminishing you as a father, but I'm not going to pretend everything is okay when you repeatedly disrespected our son publicly for clout. Because of that, I don't trust you around him right now. If you want to lie to the world and deny him because you're upset about the boundaries I put in place, That's your choice. But my responsibility is protecting our child and keeping him away from the circus. You lied before, you denied him before, it's nothing new. And then allegedly he wrote over. And then she wrote, nobody is running from you. Put I simply put boundaries in place because of the way you've treated me and our son. You keep making everything about you instead of acknowledging the harm that's been done. If I ask for time and space, respect that. I'm honestly still healing from the trauma of everything that's happened. The way you're choosing to act will only harm you in the long run, not us. Lying to hurt us will hurt you. You just dissed him in that song and you just talked about his hair. I believe you hate him honestly, and I'm scared of you. You're capable of really hurting us for real. I don't know what trap you got, and I'd be like, wait, I can't see the rest. Hold on, let's see if I could. I couldn't read the rest because it was. Oh wait, can I? No, because there's a demon in you that hates us. Like, this is real crazy. Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm over his ass too. I'm over his ass too. And hey, everybody coming in. I'm mom of three. Let me just put this to the side for a minute. So hi everybody, I'm mom of three. Thank you for joining. If you're just joining, I'm talking about, Blueface coming out yesterday and posting that he is not the father of Chrisean Jr. and he was insinuating that Ronnie is the dad. And then, of course, Chrisean is gonna respond because, of course she's gonna respond. She doesn't appreciate him doing that. Who thinks that Ronnie is really the baby daddy? Who you think? Let me know. Right in the chat. Do you think Ronnie's the baby daddy or Blueface? Let me know what you guys think. And please hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And welcome to the channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. So let's continue. It says, you are saying literally anything to make me feel like I'm wrong for putting boundaries after countless times of you disrespecting our son. I said I don't want to come Saturday because I can't and won't go. You are an evil individual that doesn't deserve to be anywhere near our kid. Dissed him in a song and talked about his hair. Just leave us alone till you are a better person. Mark my words, you won't get the chance to hurt him again. So go be evil all by yourself. Love is action. Your actions shows you hate our kid. And his reply, oh, you don't gotta worry about me bothering you or your son. Yeah, he said your son. That's all you. I don't want none to do with that reputation you guys have. Like, are you serious? Reputation you guys have? Your child is 2 years old. That child is 2 years old. He doesn't have a freaking reputation. And a real father will want to be involved and help Chrisean get Junior the help he needs. Get him into therapy. Get him in, all the medical attention that child needs. Because it is not, hard to tell that child, that poor baby, needs help and more than Chrisean is giving him, you know? And then it says, and then he also says, I'm going to give you exactly what you asking for. Like, he's bugging out. Like, This is rich. And all for clout, because as you can see, he invited her over there. That means he's trying to get her to go on his stream. Like he's trying to get everybody to go on the stream for the damn clout. You know? Hey, Jesse James, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining, everybody. Please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. You know, uh, I always, why do that? But you know, it's so the nonsense, the damn nonsense. You know, and then she says, Jonathan, you are going to upset. You are going up against God, not me. He gonna give you exactly what you're dishing out. On Jesus Christ, I can't be messed with by any demon. You got no power or authority. Be careful. And he says, yeah, you God now. Stop talking to me, Chrisean. And then this is the video, but I really don't want to play it because you know I could probably get a copyright strike, so I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna play it. But if you guys you want to go and watch the video, go ahead and go watch the video. But you know they be sensitive with music, so I don't want to get a copyright strike. So that's, if you guys didn't see, that was the what Blueface wrote initially, you know. So I'll leave that up there for you guys that haven't seen it, just so you know you guys could see it. That's what Blueface wrote, and that's what started all of this. You know, all of this BS, all of this BS. You know, so yeah. So let's be real here. The relationship between Blueface and Chrisean has been chaotic from the beginning. Fights on camera, breakups, social media arguments, public drama. And every time something happens, it trends, you know? It definitely trends, you know? They freaking, I was tired of them at a certain point, but I kept watching because it was always some shit, especially when she was pregnant, trying to act like she was a goody goody, but yet we would see her, on, social media having the drinks and then, fighting with him and just not taking care of herself, not going to the doctor, everything, you know. But the problem with these relationships that play out online is that when everything becomes content, it becomes harder to separate real life from entertainment. And I think that's part of what's happening here, because the internet is watching this relationship like a reality show, but for them, it's their real lives, And I know that she's trying, because she really, if she was the old Chrisean, she would be still in California up his ass, trying to get in between every relationship, every girl, just trying to get back in that house. But we see that she's trying to move on. Yes, a lot of us really hope and wish and want her to get Junior the help she needs. And she definitely, without a doubt, needs to get to that. She needs to get Junior his whatever it is, medical attention, physical therapy, just everything Junior needs. She needs to stop worrying about the bag. I know she needs money to take care of herself and the baby, but you can do both. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely do both. Take care of your child and get to the bag. I am happy that you've been in less drama. You really seem like you're trying to be more into God and live by God and things like that. But take care of your baby. That baby needs help. Get the help he needs. When they're young, it has more better effect on the baby. of actually getting better. And who knows, maybe if you start getting the help he needs, he'll start developing the way he should. And eventually, hopefully, he'll start walking, you know? So he definitely needs that help. And I am not gonna put, that past her, because she needs to get Junior that damn help, you know? Suni says she drank and smoked during her pregnancy, and the unborn child drank and smoked. Yep, that's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Suni. We're talking about what Blueface wrote. Saying that I know that Ronnie always said that he was the dad, speculated that he was the dad, and even right before he was unalived, he was going hard on Chrisean about getting a, paternity test. So I definitely know. And thank you for being here, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is the first time you're here, welcome on. Please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate you for being here. I think he's telling the truth. That's a heavy statement to make, knowing the backlash he would receive. Yeah, that's fact. That is fact. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, So this is where I want to get, serious for a minute, because the real issue here is children being involved in internet drama. And unfortunately, we've been seeing this more and more with social media relationships. Parents, are fighting online. The kids end up, becoming part of the story. And that's where things start getting, uncomfortable, because once the internet starts debating paternity, that child is going to grow up and see all of this one day. And that's something people don't always think about. So I really wish, regardless who is the dad, that they would just, get it get know who's the dad. Like, let's be honest, let's figure out who's the dad, and not just speculation. Actual proof, actual truth on who's the dad. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Sarah. I'm not monetized yet, so they can't super chat me. But if they're definitely enjoying this live, they can send me a cash app if they would like. Um, yeah. So I want to show some pictures, and you tell me what you guys think. Now, y'all know how Junior looks. So tell me if you think that Ronnie is the dad, or is Blueface the dad. So you know, this is Chrisean and Ronnie. Rest in peace, Ronnie. You know. Um. So what do you guys think? You guys think that Junior looks like Blueface, or does Junior look like Ronnie? That's that's Ronnie. That is Blueface when the Junior was a baby, you know? And those of you that know how Junior look, what do you guys think? You know? He was a handsome young dude, I mean, he wasn't, perfect. He wasn't innocent. He did a lot of things in his life. Allegedly, he did do certain things, even, to defend Chrisean when they together, and he definitely loved her. Everyone said he loved her. Even his sister, that recently came out, and said what she said, you know. She said that he definitely loved Chrisean to death. He wanted to be Junior's dad. He wanted to be Junior's dad. And with everything that has gone on these last few years, I think that was the best option. I think him being Chrisean Junior's dad would have been the best outcome. You know, he would have had a dad in his life right now. Maybe he wouldn't have been unalived, you know, because he would have been focusing on other things and not in the streets, you know? And what people speculating that Chrisean is the reason why he was unalived, especially because he was, more very, very vocal about being Chrisean Jr.'s dad, you know? He was trying to fight hard for a DNA test right before he passed away. So those of us that have been watching this story, we definitely seen everything. We've seen it all, you know? Yeah, he looks like Ronnie around the eyes. Yeah, he looks like Ronnie around the eyes. Yeah, to me too. Yeah, Ronnie fought hard to be in his life before he passed. Yes, he definitely did. He sure did, And it's just this is just really, really, sad. Real damn sad. And then, of course, you guys know how Blueface looks, even though this was before all the damn tattoos on his face. Now this is the new Blue. All those damn tattoos on his damn face. Ugh. This is the old Blue before jail and all that, you know? But, and honestly, he does look like Ronnie, you know? He definitely looks like Ronnie to me. To me, he definitely looks like Ronnie. So let's see. So this is Chrisean Jr. So what you guys think? Ronnie or Blueface? Ronnie or Blueface? What you guys think? That's him more recently compared to a baby. But like I said, the only thing that's gonna, tell us the truth is that DNA test. Of course, Chrisean is gonna keep saying that that Blueface is the baby daddy. Of course, she's gonna say that. She doesn't want to look bad, So of course she's gonna say that Blueface is the father and he's just acting up and whatever, Of course she's gonna say that because she doesn't want to look stupid, you know. So of course she's gonna continue with that, you know. So all right, so let's get a little messy for a second. Let's talk about both sides because people online are split. Some people say, Blueface is wrong, and others are saying that if a man doubts it, but what do you guys think? Let me know. I asked this before, but let me know what you guys think. You think they should have kept it private, or it's okay to bring it to the internet because they are a, you know, public influencers, since they are public influencers. Should a DNA test have been done already? I think so. What do you guys think? Do you think the situation is about attention? Attention on Blueface side, attention on Chrisean's side, or attention on both sides? What you think? Do you think that she should take his invitation to come on his Twitch? What you guys think? You think they should be able to resolve it and things like that? Their past traumas, but I know Chrisean, is traumatized, They've both done a lot of shit to each other, That's not just easy to forget, especially when he came out of prison and she went to meet him and things like that. She was, yeah, I guess she was trying to be cordial and things like that to see if he changed. But obviously, we're talking about Blueface. He did not change. And as those of us that watch his, streams, we know that Blueface has not changed. Yeah, Blueface looks more like his dad to me. Blueface looks more like his dad to me, like the thinness and things like that. But yeah, but he does look like Ronnie. Yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking. It's definitely heartbreaking. And that's something to think about because people would really come for her, and the fact that Ronnie was unalived. Yep. Yeah, they need to go to court, right? He needs to go to court, but he doesn't care that much. Like, he wants her to go over there for himself, for what he's gonna get out of it, because he knows his stream, his numbers are gonna go through the damn roof if she comes on that stream. Like, let's be honest, you know? Those numbers haven't been numbering like that. But if she comes on the stream, his numbers will definitely go up, you know? I had a little video here. Let me show you guys. I did have a video of when Ronnie was alive that he went on an interview. So let me play a little bit of it because it's 21 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the whole thing.
Growing into
let me play
a passionate relationship, you know what I'm saying? So we were dating from the ages of about 17, and we broke it off like right before she went on to the Blue Girls Club. But however, we were still, messing around and whatnot. But a lot of history. And yeah, man, that was like I wouldn't say my first love, but one of your high school relationships that was more than a 1 week, 2 week fling type of thing. You get me?
For sure.
For sure.
Now she seemed pretty violent, man. Was she violent with you back in the day as well, bro?
Hey, man, I ain't gonna incriminate nobody, but I just will say she does have a history of not keeping her hands to herself, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Fair enough. I like that answer. Answer. I know a lot of people are wondering this question, man, so I gotta ask this question, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that child is your baby?
So honestly, I was messing with her during the time that she possibly conceived Junior, and she was back and forth between Baltimore and LA, you know what I'm saying? So I was just being transparent with you, my brother. I was being intimate with her without protection. So being me, the man that I am, the man that my mother raised me to be, I can't know that I potentially have a seed out here and not address it, whether it's with an ex or, whoever it may be. When I have any obligation out here, I have to face it. I can't run from it. And that's just the man that my mother raised me to be.
That's real, man. That's some stand-up, you know what I'm saying? That's being what you call being a real stand-up dude. Now, I was looking at a lot of the comments, man, and people was like, wow, like, dude is really stepping up. why doesn't she give him this paternity test that he's asking for?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And that's one thing I want everyone else to, kind of ask her. Like, if she knows there's no potential chance of me being the biological father, why not embarrass me in front of the whole world?
And did you see what Carlissa said? Like, Carlissa was like, or Carlissa, however you say her name, she was saying,
It's just sad, right? And sorry, I have to pause it because when you're giving commentary using somebody's video, you do have to pause every now and then. Say your commentary just so your video won't get messed up or struck or whatever. But damn, right? Damn. So, what we all knew, she was, worried about Blue and what he was doing, but she definitely was not innocent in that relationship either, you know? So Ronnie definitely had a reason to think that he was the father, especially what everybody speculates, that he was the one that was in the hospital when she was giving birth. She didn't want Blueface around. She was keeping away from Blueface when she was about to give birth. So, you know, of course we think that Ronnie is the dad. Hey, Miss Dee sis. Hey, Kwani. Welcome in, welcome in. And it's just sad.
and that she agrees with you that she needs to take that paternity test and get it out the way.
Yeah, I've seen a few things by Carlissa. I've seen a few things by Whack 100. Carlissa stated that I don't know, man. Carlissa, I don't know her perspective on it really, because one minute she's advocating that she wants me to get a paternity test, and then the next minute she's like, "Oh, stop playing with my grandbaby." So it's like I'm not really sure which side of the fence she's on. I'm trying to determine, but I don't know.
Now, did she mention that she was surprised that Chrisean was fooling around? Like,
they were playing games with him, giving him the runaround, from the beginning. Somebody wouldn't go as in as he was, right before he was unalive, if he didn't have, if he didn't feel deep in his heart that he had a chance of being Junior's dad. And those of us that seen the videos of him in the mall and things like that, going after her, like, because he wanted that damn DNA test. And he had every freaking right to get that DNA test. She was sleeping around. It's only freaking right.
in between you and Blueface?
Not really. Carlissa is very aware of the type of woman that Chrisean is, so she's not surprised by, the things that she does. Yeah.
So, man, now the interaction y'all had, was that like in a food court or something like that you went viral for when you was following her around in the store?
So we was in the Rundle Mills Mall in Hanover, Maryland. We actually weren't in the food court specifically, but we were in Subway, and when I approached them, she initially wasn't aware of who I was because I had a ski mask on my head. So when I approached her and she got a better look at me, she was like, "Oh my gosh," like, "Oh my gosh," like she was surprised that it was me. So things were kind of like blown out of proportion when I seen her, but yeah, it wasn't in the food court. It was in, Subway.
So how'd you find out she was gonna be at that particular location?
So, man, so in the area that we were in, it's an area that I'm local in. A lot of people know me in the area. So she was doing a little bit of, I don't want to say shopping, because when I approached her, I didn't see any shopping.
So she was, y'all remember that video of him in the mall and them in the mall? He was scared. She was scared. She looked very, very frightened. Like, then she wanted to call the mall, security, police. Yes. Yes. So what does the internet think? So who's the real baby daddy? We know. Look at that face alone. Just look at his face right now on the video. Who does that look like? What we all have been thinking all along.
Shopping bags, but she was doing whatever she was doing in the mall on Black Friday. So somebody sent me a DM and they were just like, "Hey, Chrisean's in the mall, you know, she's here with Junior, she's here with a few of her friends." So I was like, "Oh, okay, this is news to me, you know." So somebody had sent me that she was at Subway in Hanover. So luckily at the time when I seen that DM, I wasn't too far from that Subway. Surely enough, when I got to that Subway, guess who we see?
Boom.
Boom.
So
Yeah.
was that y'all first encounter, man, since the baby's been born? That day?
Yeah, that was our first physical in-person encounter since Junior was born. Yes. Yeah.
So looking at him, man, you feel like that's your son?
Man, I strongly feel like that there is a chance, you know, but due to the fact that there are other men involved, I'm not gonna be, you know, selfish and say that he is mine, but I definitely believe there's a possibility of him being mine. Out of all of the other gentlemen that are involved, I do feel like Junior may favor me the most, and that's just my honest opinion.
Wow. So all of the men involved. All of the men involved. How many men were there? Right? How many men were there? But I'm sorry, but if they went on Maury would come out and say, Ronnie is the father. You are the father. You know? Men and I appreciate you being here, and just be respectful, you know, because that's what YouTube is. It's basically you know, I'm taking my time out to come out with this commentary, and I am not monetized. My channel is not monetized. So that is a way of tipping the host. Okay. So if you don't want to, that's okay, you know, but you didn't have to be nasty in the chat. But I do appreciate your opinions on this topic. But, you know, that's what we do here. We come out, you know, we're basically working. This is my second job. I have a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job, and this is what I do on the side, you know? So I greatly appreciate everybody for being here, you know? I really, really do. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, you know? It's a mess. It's just a mess, you know? It's a damn mess. It's a damn it's a damn mess. It's a damn shame. Like, and I believe Chrisean that the reason why Blueface came out, it's because that he invited her over there, because those of us that have been watching him as well, we know that he's trying to get his you know, Twitch up and running. He wants to go viral. He's trying to, you know, compete with a lot of different streamers that, you know, have high numbers. So he's trying to get there too, you know, but people are not feeling his channel as much as others. So of course he knows that Chrisean comes, and especially if she brings Junior, everybody is gonna freaking run to watch, you know? And that's the only reason why he even reached out to her to invite her to go over there. And he actually wanted her to go over there today. So I don't know if she was in California, like doing something or whatever, because you know, she hasn't been in California like that. But he invited her to go over there today, the other day, like he said Saturday. That's what she wrote in her reply to him. And, you know, he didn't like that she said no, and basically told him off. Like, no, you don't care about us. You don't care about your son. You know, you always talking shit about your son. Why the hell would I even, you know, put Junior in that predicament of being disrespected? You know, you don't care about him. She called him a demon. He's demonic, you know? Sorry, guys. New York and the damn horns. People are in a rush to go nowhere. Um, yeah, Baltimore Bama says that's definitely not Blue's baby. Facts, right? I'm surprised Carlissa isn't saying anything. Not yet. We already know her, you know. um, Car- Carlissa, Blueface wife. Sis, she didn't do the DNA test because it is illegal. Yeah, well, definitely Blue needs to do it. Blue needs to do the damn DNA test. Chrisean needs to woman her ass up and deal with her consequences and just find out, you know, who the baby daddy is. It's bad to speculate or want people to believe Blueface is the dad, and he's not even a good dad. He's not taking care of your child. So it's like you want him to be the father for what? He's not in Junior's life. He's not financially doing anything for him. He's not making sure that you do what you have to do with him. He's not taking you to court to make sure that you're getting him the medical needs he needs. So what do you need to be attached to him for in any kind of way, even if it's just like the paternity? You don't need to be attached to him in any way. He's not a good dad. He's not a good person. We've seen it. He's all about clout. He's all about sex. He's all about women. That's all he's into right now. He's almost 30 years old, you know? And he's still so immature. He has a lot he has a lot of growing to do. A lot of damn growing to do. You know? And it's just freaking sad. It really is just sad, you know? I'm going to post I'm going to post again what you know, led to this. The tweet that led to all of this nonsense about Blueface and Chrisean and Ronnie, rest in peace, you know, bringing it back up that Ronnie could possibly really, really be the dad, you know? It's just crazy. So, for those of you that did not see earlier, this is the tweet, because you know, everything got to be tweeted. This was the tweet that Blueface posted yesterday that started all this stuff. It says, Junior is not my biological son. Rest in peace to his father, Ronnie. I can no longer continue the plot. It doesn't feel right as a present father in all my kids' life to be discredited as an absent father to a child that is not biologically mine. I tried my best to fill in the blanks because his biological father is no longer with us. But I can't continue the plot. It doesn't feel right. Yeah, Lami, I showed it. I showed her response. His family issued a cease and desist, I think, against Blueface. Wow. Well, I you know, I I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Yeah, I saw. We definitely saw it. You guys want to see it again? You want to see her response again? It says, let me clear something up. No one is denying anyone access out of spite. As a mother, my responsibility is to protect my child. Less than a week ago, my son was publicly disrespected from Blue, and I will never normalize that. You called him, both of us, dumb on, whose stream, insinuating our kid is dumb. Then later after that, you made a statement about his hair. Recently, I was invited to multiple events and I respectfully declined his invitation. Since then, there have been attempts to provoke a response, including public statements that are simply not true. I'm not interested in going back and forth online. My focus is raising my son in peace, love, and protection. That will always come first. Yeah. So that's what they had to say. So that's, the fact of the matter. It seems like the fact of the matter is that, he's trying to get her over there again. This time she's not feeding into it. She doesn't want to go over there. She knows all he brings is toxicity into their relationship. And she doesn't want to be no longer part of it. And I don't blame her. And I don't blame her for not wanting Junior around that either. All he wants is clout. He doesn't love any of them. I don't think he ever loved any of them. You know what I'm saying? But I wish Chrisean the best. And what I really, 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 really hope for is that she womens up and becomes a better mom and gets Junior the help that he needs. That baby needs all the help he can get. Every Everything that he needs, she needs to get him. She needs to, if she wants to still be traveling and all that shit, she needs to get somebody that travels with her that can do the physical therapy, somebody that travels with people. Hire somebody like that. There's people like that you can hire to travel with you, that'll take care of him, that is that they're able to license to issue any medications or things like that, or give him any medical treatment. There are people like that. And if you're making money, traveling and things like that, and I understand that you do need money to take care of yourself, your child, and things like that, take the money and time to hire somebody that can travel with you and that can help Junior. And yes, Kwani, she is right. And everything else she wrote in the tweets between them, I mean, the DMs between them before she blocked him, she was right too. He is too much. He is saying a lot of stuff, about Junior that he shouldn't. He shouldn't even be talking about Chrisean. If he ain't man enough to take her to court, to make sure that they get that DNA test. So if he is the dad, so he could get visitation and to get that baby the help he needs, that he needs to not mention her or her son, you know? And it's simple as that. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe if this is your first time here. Of course, you can leave comments if you're watching the replay. Yeah, that's all I have to say. They need to get their shit together. There's a child involved. Chrisean, get that DNA test. Blue, man up. If you are saying that you're not the dad, prove it. I say prove it. Go to go to court. Get that DNA test. Show us that you have some kind of goodness in you and that you would like to not be an absent father, And rest in peace to Ronnie. I really wish that he would have got that DNA test before he passed away, because, everybody wants to know, and he deserved to know. He deserved to know that whether he was the dad or he wasn't. But They need to get their shit together because they're the only ones that are alive right now and here for that baby. So get that baby the help he needs and find out who his dad is, you know? This situation is probably not over, of course, you know, because whenever these two start posting about each other, more drama usually follows. So we'll see if Blueface says anything else, Chrisean responds again, or if this situation finally gets handled privately, which you know that's not going to happen. But I'll definitely be on the lookout. And when I find out, you'll find out. And we'll have another conversation about it, you know? Because this be too much, you know? This just be too much. It's been freaking almost, the baby is 2.5 years old, basically. It's been too long, you know? This situation needs to be resolved already. And if he always has this to be able to hold against Chrisean, he always gonna have a pawn, you know? So she needs to get it resolved also so she could free herself from him. Because if they don't have nothing or no one attaching them, you know, keeping them together, or not together, but you know what I mean, then she could finally just walk away and forget she ever had that relationship with him, and she could be a better mother, hopefully, you know. Yeah, he don't act like he want to be involved, but yet, like I said, he was inviting her. He just wanted to invite her for clout, you know. So if you guys enjoyed this, like I said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate you. And of course, like I said, those of you, if you enjoyed this and you would like to, it's not mandatory, but if you would like to, please consider donating to my Cash App, and the Cash App is on the screen. It's basically a tip, since I am not monetized and you can't send me any super chats or anything like that, you know. But we're definitely going to be watching. The internet is watching, and I will, give you guys an update if there is one. Um, Thank you guys. Happy Saturday. I hope you have a great weekend.